Welcome to the latest episode of ET with GOTB, and it is a special one. It is all about the Adobe Women's FA Cup and our mad weekend. I'm Rachel.
I'm Sophie.
And this is Extra Time with Girls on the Ball. Right, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, you may have already spotted. For those of you listening, Sophie, can you explain where we are?
So we are currently in Durham. We were at the Durham Sunderland game last night in the Barclays WSL2, and now we're starting our Adobe Women's FA Cup road trip. So we've got 3 games, 3 days, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, you're joining us halfway through a kind of mad 6-day, 6-game situation, 3 different competitions. But now we're at the start of the FA Cup, which I'm really looking forward to, and we're about to head off down to Birmingham, who are playing Chatham
Yes. Town. They're on a historic run in the Cup. So it's going to be fun. Can they make it continue and get to the quarterfinals? We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, but we need to get in the car. We need to get on the road. Let's go. So we are currently stuck in stationary traffic.
Not moving.
We've had over an hour added onto the journey, so this is not a good sign. But it's a good time to have a chat about the fact that we're going to see Birmingham versus Chatham Town, who, as you said, Sophie, are the lowest ranked team left in the FA Cup, so it feels like a proper FA Cup fixture. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I went down with Tom Gary, who did a very good piece on Chatham Town. Went down to their ground this week, and I did some photography for The Guardian, and a lot of excitement around the club, understandably. Very proud of where they've gotten to thus far. Oh my God, we're moving.
Oh.
This is very exciting. Understandably very proud of how far they've gotten.
Don't get too excited, yeah.
Thus far. And, you know, I was chatting to one of their players who was kind of saying, like, how much they would have loved, like, a big WSL clash. And I was finding it interesting because I'm like, you've got that balance of, yeah, like, an away WSL clash would be unreal. But equally, like, wouldn't you want to play someone that you think, maybe, on our day, in a cup setting, you might get through to the next one?
The two standards of the squads are very, very different. It's not like Birmingham don't have international standard players.
I'm trying to think of, like, the silver lining.
Well, yeah, there's always, like, there is a magic of the FA Cup, and I know in the women's game there's a lot of talk about why there are no upsets, and I think there are clear reasons for that. But one day there will be an upset. One day, like, it is coming.
We do see them further down the rounds. We do see some upsets, and, you know, I think which have allegedly been scrapped now, the proposed changes to the FA Cup sounded absolutely bonkers and would have just taken any of the magic away. So I'm very glad that has changed. Or, well, at least been tabled, scrapped, if you like. Because these are the fixtures that make the FA Cup special. And then on the flip side, tomorrow we'll be going to see, like, a WSL top of the table clash, which is like another kind of exciting fixture for its own reasons, you know. Tells you a lot about where teams are within their seasons, and, like, can a club like a United beat Chelsea in a cup game, which they've done before in the FA Cup. They face each other then in the League Cup final. There's a lot riding on that one as well. So I'm looking forward to getting to St Andrews. I haven't been there in ages. When were you there? The last time you were there,
I
when
was
they played
there for the final game of last season.
Yeah.
So the London City.
Sorry, someone has very cheekily just gone up the hard shoulder to skip all of the traffic and come off the exit.
Who did that? Did I miss that?
No, there's a couple of cars doing it now.
Ah,
cheeky. Very tempting. Because we were stuck in that. It's 0.7 miles. You can't be doing that. It's way too early. Anyway, this is the joys of being on the road with us. It's been a long few days.
Yeah.
We've gone from Kent to Manchester, Manchester to Durham, Durham down to Birmingham.
Cats.
Sophie's been very concerned about the cats and keeps watching them eat like an absolute creep. But
we just freak them out by talking to them. So they're like, "What is that coming out of the food?"
Anyway, you're getting our inner ramblings as we sit in slow-moving traffic, which has kind of become the bane of our lives recently because we've been on the road a lot. But this is, you know, this is for you guys. You get to be in our pocket, joining us on these trips, and you get the excitement, the real kind of nitty-gritty of long journeys, of traffic, which we hate so much. Anyway, we'll chat to you next time from the ground.
We have to go through this process every time at the moment.
Not every time. I'm not even wearing my waterproof trousers, which feels like a terrible
mistake.
mistake.
Because it's a little bit wet all the time.
Am I going to regret not wearing waterproof trousers?
Yes, I think you will, but...
Oh, someone's got a bag with them. That's
you are where you are.
So you're going to be able to take my jeans when we go inside, aren't you? Aren't you?
Yes.
Good.
So, getting up to the press box here is always a bit of a wild ride. Lots and lots of stairs. Quite narrow, it's probably like old school, isn't it? Camera here. Proper maze. Just as you think you're done with the stairs, you go up again. Now it gets really tight. And again. And finally. So it's all over here. Birmingham City are through to the quarterfinals of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Chatham Town were good in the first half, but maybe Birmingham City were just too strong for them in that second half.
Yeah, it kind of floodgates opened a little bit. Once a couple of goals went in early in the second half, it was a bit floodgates open. But shout out to, is it Allegan in goal? She made so many
good.
saves.
Especially in that first half, denied Lee at like point blank range a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times. But yeah, Chatham Town I think can be very proud of themselves. They've had a really historic cup run here. It was always going to be tough, this one. Birmingham have a lot of star quality in their ranks, and it just proved too much on the day.
A5, Soph, how are we feeling?
Tired?
We're caffeinated.
I'm alright.
We're caffeinated.
We're caffeinated. Got a little bruise on my face, so...
Yeah, Sophie got smacked
attacked
in the face
by the cat.
By the cat this morning. Didn't get attacked. He was playing a very vigorous game of chasing, and sadly Sophie got in the way. Right, we're ready for Chelsea versus Manchester United, preview of the League Cup final.
Rerun of the last FA Cup final?
Yes, and of course they faced each other in the semi-final as well a couple of years back, so plenty of history between these two. I'm really bored of driving. This is meant to be a closer game though. It's still a 3-hour round trip. If I never see the inside of the car again, it'll be too soon. Anyway, here we are in the car again. How many do you reckon, Soph, bottles of water and coffee cups do we have in here?
Well, not very many at the moment. But
Did we clear it out?
You cleared it out the other day.
Oh.
It's quite the full rubbish bag.
Yeah, I'm just thinking 4 games and all of the travel, like up to Durham, back, etc. Multiple traffic jams.
We're quite good at cleaning out the fire.
We are, but in terms of like how much we actually have across that period of time, you can go. We're good to go. We're all good. I'm in. You've got me.
Chatting away.
You've got me. I've got the main cargo. Right. I know we briefly mentioned it inside about Chelsea and United. Interesting one now, isn't it? Because Manchester United, of course, have been managing Champions League. So a lot has been made this season about their depth, etc. How they're going to manage all of that. They did pretty well during the group stage, and now they've gotten through their playoffs pretty comfortably as well. What do you reckon, Soph? Do you reckon this might be one game too many in terms of managing that loading, or are Chelsea still in a bit of a wobble and could be exploited?
It's very interesting because I don't think you can call this one.
Hold please, we're going over some very bumpy potholes. Yeah. You're going to see us now. I mean, the camera's good, the gimbal's good, but I'm not. I don't have the same stability as the camera, so I'm just going to bounce around a bit for a moment. It's the most annoying road, especially with all the weather. Anyway, go on, you're making a very good point.
I think this is the one that you can't call because, yes, Chelsea have been having a wobble. They're not looking at their best, but they have won back-to-back. But United are on 8 straight wins, I think. So they're not always playing brilliantly, but they are getting the job done and then learning how to win, I think, which is what Chelsea have done for years.
Yes.
But I thought United at points on Thursday night were really, really slick. Like some of the passing moves against Atletico, maybe, I don't know.
Jesus Christ, it's Joseph's Technicolor Dreamcoat.
But I think it's going to be interesting.
I think what you said there was
Chelsea have had a week off.
They've had a week off, But also on the way Manchester played against Atletico was very attacking front-footed, which, with respect to United, isn't always the way they play. They're sometimes a little bit more reserved, a bit more concerned about losing rather than going out and attacking the game. And I think if they go out and play like that against Chelsea, it could make for a really fun... I mean, it was a fun game against Atletico.
But then I'm not sure whether they will against Chelsea. So okay. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think you'll see a tight 60, 70 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, one can hope for an exciting back-to-back attacking battle, but we shall see. Right. The person in me that likes continuity is going to point out that our final clip shot, for those of you watching on YouTube, we were wearing the same clothes, we were in the same place, it is the same day. We had a very long Sunday after the Chelsea-Manchester United game that we didn't get to do our proper wrap-up. We ended up coming home and having about half an hour to turn ourselves around and go out for dinner with your mum. Mm-hmm. And then we were gone early the next morning for the next... No, we weren't. We had Monday. I had to do 2 podcasts. I had to go up to London. So we didn't get to do our little roundup of the Chelsea-United game. So we're doing it now, and I know we look the same, but leave us alone. Can you remember the Chelsea United game?
I can.
Good. That one went to extra time as well. Cheers for that. Of the 3 games, 2 of them went to extra time in the end, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but quite a good game in terms of, I feel like Chelsea came out better. United looked a bit leggy, and you were absolutely right when she said it was going to be tight for 60 to 70 minutes, because it wasn't until the 78th that Sam Kerr got a goal for Chelsea, and then Ujo decided to score 3 minutes later. They just saved all the excitement. They waited, they heard you, and they were like, we're not allowed to do anything until after 70 minutes.
Chelsea should have been 3-0 up in the first half. Manchester United were pretty out of the game in that first 45 minutes. You could see they were tired. They played Atletico in midweek in Manchester, and you could see, if you remember that game, it was quite end to end.
Yeah,
lots of counter attacks, lots of a lot of energy spent, I think, in that one. So the fact that they had to come out on 3 days later and perform against Chelsea in a knockout game, you could see they were tired and a bit leggy at the time. But they managed to hold on. Big shout out to Fallon Tillers-Joyce, superb performance. She made 3 big saves, I think. And then there was a big Mère Letizier saving challenge. That was superb. But yeah, they were on the ropes a bit in that first half. And then in the second half, United found a new gear, I think. They'd managed to get it out of their system, and they started going just park, hit the bar from distance, had Hannah Hampton beaten. There were another couple of chances here and there. So it was pretty even in that second half, I think. And then Chelsea took the lead through Sam Kerr, who, when she came on, you said she's going to score.
Yeah, we both messaged her at the same time saying, Kerr for the winner. We thought she'd get the winner. She did get the goal.
To celebrate right in front of you.
Celebrate, thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, yeah, that is what I said. I said she's going to get the winner and hopefully celebrate in front of me. She can get the winner, but she did celebrate in front of me. 6 minutes after she came on, she got that goal. It's amazing what happens when you play a natural number 9 in the number 9 position.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see what Sonia Bonpasto is trying to do with Chelsea at the moment. I think Sam's not... The problem with Sam is that she needs games to get up to full fitness. It's just like vicious circle, isn't it?
Yep.
And to get back to the form that we know Sam Kerr can provide. But then also when you're Chelsea, you need someone in form.
Getting goals.
And so there's this rock and a hard place situation, grey area.
But it'd be different if Mayra Ramirez was fully fit or Aguilera Jones was fully fit. She could be playing a number 9 at least in those positions.
Yeah, but she seems to be liking Lauren James there at the moment. I know she's playing a kind of false 9.
Didn't Alyssa Thompson play there at one point?
Alyssa Thompson, yeah. But I do think there is a question around Sam Kerr's and her future as well. But she comes on and she has that kind of impact. That's exactly what Sam Kerr is about. And she just needs... I think actually the Asian Cup now will really help her. She's going away for a month with Australia. She will get minutes. She is their captain. She will play regularly and she might come back in a much better place having had regular football.
And they think Mayra Ramirez may be back after this break as well, which is important for them, given they've got the quarterfinals of the Champions League against Arsenal and now
Sonia
into the quarterfinals.
Sonia was talking a lot about the business end of the season. I think that's key.
Absolutely. Well, perhaps not I wouldn't even say a huge surprise, because I genuinely couldn't call this one. I know people like to wang on about the fact that United have only ever beaten Chelsea once, but you do feel like it's much closer now. They drew earlier on in the season. You know, United have been unbeaten since that Lyon game in December. So I thought it was going to be hard to call. So it going to extra time maybe isn't a huge surprise. And Naomi Girma popping up and scoring the winner in the 99th minute maybe was a surprise. She got player of the match as well. She did have a good game. So they'll be delighted that with that mentality to get through, won't they?
She had a good game. I thought player of the match should have been Berman, though. She was superb.
That's interesting because when I asked you that the other day, you said Girma. And I was like, you did?
Berman.
You said Girma, and I said that's who got the trophy.
I've always said Berman.
It's not true. Well, I'll rewatch these videos, see if she said anything in there. No, the point is, Chelsea will be pleased to get through. I mean, obviously they would have liked to have won in 90 minutes, but I actually think for their mentality to win it like that in extra time will kind of do them wonders to that side of the game. So, as you say, big couple of months coming up once they get back.
Again as soon as international.
Subway League Cup, first game back. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But I feel like we did a really good breadth of games. We did like big kind of top 4 WSL clash. We did, WSL 2 against a National League side team. And we're doing a 5th and 6th place game now, or we did a 5th and 6th place game. That was another one that was maybe slightly trickier to call. Didn't expect it to go to fucking penalties, but now I'm going to get ourselves confused by talking ahead of time when we're back in time. But I think it was a good breadth of FA Cup games. All right, game number 3. FA Cup game 3 for us, but match 6 for us in 6 days. We are here at Hayes Lane for London City Lionesses versus Tottenham. So if this is 5th against 6th in the league, but maybe a little bit of space between these two.
Yeah, it's intriguing, this one. They obviously met earlier in the season under a different manager for London City. Jocelyn Pressure was inside. London City won 4-2 that day against Spurs. So there were goals in that game, but things have changed since then. Tottenham obviously coming into this one on the back of that 7-3 victory against Aston Villa. They were being really pleased with their attacking play in that one. They've reinforced over the winter break, but the defence may be a bit shaky at times. London City have been in a bit of turmoil themselves. Eda Maestro came in over Christmas, so there's been a bit of a shake-up there. Not always got the best results out of them so far. It's still very much the start of London City under his project, as it were. So it's going to be, I'm intrigued.
I feel like, though, as well, for both of these clubs, whoever gets through, it's great for the managers who are new to the league to be getting further and getting into the quarterfinals of the Adobe Women's FA Cup. Like, that is a big draw and a big, goal for both of these sides. So whether they're delighted to have drawn each other, I don't know, but I think it's going to make quite an intriguing game. And I'm hoping, given what you said the last time they played, we will have goals.
And when you think back to Tottenham's run to the final, maybe, 2 years ago now, that did so much for the club, I think, and the fact that they could say they have got deep into finals. This is, that was it doesn't happen very often, but that was a big moment for them, and it's something that they can still build on, even if they had a bit of a shaky season last year. I think they can still have that in the memory of this club. It's very much a goal to get back to Wembley again and get back and try and right the wrong of that day, I guess.
Well, we'll see what happens here on the pitch. We'll have a little bit of analysis afterwards, and we will, of course, look at what the draw throws up. Can't wait. How many days? 6 days, 6 games. This obviously is our FA Cup focused pod, but it is worth pointing out that we did do 3 games before the 3 FA Cup games. And we're done. We're finished. We had last night's game between London City Lionesses and Tottenham, helpfully, be one of the longest games of my entire life. Bethany England getting Tottenham back into it with literally the final kick of the game.
At the 94th minute.
It was literally the final kick of the game. Scored the penalty, full-time whistle.
And when I say I feel something in my waters and you laugh at me.
I don't laugh at you. I tell you to put your waters away because we didn't need another Tottenham goal. I
had a feeling that Tottenham were going to score. I just had that feeling. And then what ensued was the longest penalty shootout I've ever seen.
It's like 9-8 or something.
9-8, 18 penalties taken, 17 scored. Actually really good penalty shootout, but longest night of my life. I did kind of lose the will at some point.
I think this wasn't, I saw some people comment, well, let's talk about the game first of all. Mm-hmm. I thought Spurs were great in the first half. I thought they deserved to be ahead in the first half. They really looked intense. I've said it before, but I love the way they counter-attack because they counter-attack in like a pack. And I just would not want to be the defending team seeing like 6, Scandies bearing down on me at like 100 miles an hour. They always look so dangerous. So it was no surprise to me that they went ahead.
No, they started really well. I think the decision making at times is what lets them down in that final third. And they probably should have been two or three up, I think. And there were just like moments like Sinja Gupset was brilliant. She'd run through like 4 players, but then the pass would go astray. And it would be just like those final moments where that's the next piece, I think, to happen with them is that they get those be more clinical in those moments, because they're setting up really well. They're coming forward in numbers. They charge forward in numbers, as you said, like Olivia Holt. They're all really good runners, and they have a really strong identity in the way that they want to attack the ball. But it's just getting those like intricate details now fixed out so that they can start making more opportunities.
And that's understandable. Some of these players only coming into the January transfer window, so those relationships will take time. But I think what's impressed me most is how quickly they are clicking.
Yeah.
And it which makes it really impressive.
They're really organised. And I thought actually last night was really quite interesting as well, because they were without Claire Hunt, who had to go to the Asian Cup. She went earlier rather than the Japanese players went a bit later. Well, went today, I think. And so Molly Bartrip came in for the first time. It's her first
120 bleeding minutes.
I was going to say 90 minutes, 120 minutes plus of the season. And I think she actually performed really well against a London City side that aren't short of forward threats. So, I thought that was quite interesting as well, because they are going to have to deal without Toko Koga and
she's
Claire
so
Hunt
good
for the next month. So I think it's 2 games where they're missing, which is important that you can have players who can come in and kind of seamlessly fit in. And I thought Molly did really well.
London City very much got back into it within about like 2 minutes. They scored 2 lovely goals, and like Spurs didn't have the same intensity about them in the second half, I don't think, and I think London City capitalised. But to get those goals in such quick succession, initially when they scored one, I was like, fuck's sake, if we go to extra time. Then they scored the other almost immediately, and I thought at this stage I was like, I don't really mind, just as long as someone wins in normal time.
Impact substitutions as well. It was Lucia Corrales' first touch to beat. It was at Hannah Vijk down the left side, and then cross it into Daniela van der Donk, who scored with her first touch of the ball pretty much. And I think Lucia Corrales was instrumental in the second goal as well.
Yeah.
And you could tell that kind of energy that they brought from the bench, which maybe Spurs didn't have at that point in time. They just brought it up to another level. And then Spurs regrouped themselves, and there were chances at both ends, I think. But yeah, it was... they left it to the wire. They left it late.
A somewhat contentious handball. Some saying it was absolutely bang on handball, others saying it absolutely wasn't. So
yeah, we were watching because the TNT Sports guys were waiting to come down to do full time, so they had their screen up in the box, and we were watching it. And initially, I thought it was a soft handball, and then I think we all came to the consensus that it was actually a handball. So,
well, there you are. So we moved into extra time. Not a huge amount happened, obviously, because it ended up going to penalties. And then, as you said, one of the longest penalty shootouts we've been at. And yeah, some people in the comments are like, oh, obviously the goalkeepers can't save anything. They were really good penalties.
Really good penalties.
And there was at least 3 or 4 where the goalkeeper got their hand to it. So when I'm shooting, I don't see the goalkeeper. I'm either shooting the person taking it or the team behind them. And I heard at least 3 or 4 where it sounded like the goalkeeper saved it. The team reacted as if it had been saved and then fell to their knees because it hadn't.
Yeah, there was one for London City. Leet got down and she got like half a glove to it and it just crept in, and that was like the jeopardy of it. And then I think Lisa Kopp had one too where you had exactly the same. I thought they were really good penalties, and I just don't... You can't win, can you? Because you have a penalty shootout like the one between England and Sweden in the summer where everyone misses. Or it gets saved and they go, it's the worst penalty shootout ever, they can't score goals. And then when they do score goals, like some of those penalties were absolute rockets. Isabel Goodwin's almost took the net off.
They're my kind of penalties. None of this faffing
Lisa
about.
Kopp as well, standing up to take the penalty. Literally just smacked it.
That's how you take penalty.
As hard as possible.
None of this dancing up and twinkle toes and stop start or panenkas, whatever. Just rifle it. Hit it really fucking hard.
Interesting that the one penalty really that did falter a little bit, West Sangaris, like she did do the little drifty run thing changed her mind at the last minute. And actually, maybe you just need to go gung-ho and rifle it in the back of the net.
It's my analysis anyway. So Tottenham Hotspur are through to the quarterfinals. They're only going to face Chelsea. God love them. But they were absolutely delighted. They chose, I think they won the coin toss. I always say coin toss instead of coin toss. They won the coin toss and chose to shoot into where their fans were. So plenty of celebrations.
You were really worried because you were not the side of the fans.
Well, I was, but they weren't celebrating that side. They were celebrating with the fans the other side of the goal for whatever reason.
The main group of fans were on the left. But actually, they did the main celebration.
They saved it all at our feet.
At your feet.
Yeah. So eventually we got home, thank God. It's been a very, very, very long 6 days. And I was talking to someone in the press room, I think it was Tom Gary, about it. And I was like, we've had preparation. We did this during the Euros where we did 12 games in a row. So maybe this isn't so bad. But it is tiring. We've squeezed in podcasts and various other things in between, and we've of course driven all over the bleeding country, but I think it's been quite a good FA Cup weekend, if you know what I mean. There weren't too many huge surprises. Oxford came close, gutting for them to end up losing it on a penalty and having a player sent off. So in terms of surprises, there weren't any huge ones. Did anyone stand out for you this week?
I think the Chelsea United game was a really good game. I think Chelsea showed that kind of edge that they've had in previous years where they managed to battle through it, and they put in a pretty good performance. But, once someone equalises 3 minutes after, as you can tell where I'm at the moment, 3 minutes after you've taken the lead, it can maybe ruffle your feathers and you'd think maybe you're on a back foot there. But to come through that and win it, I think was really important for their season. So especially going forward, they've got a huge month ahead, as do United. Who else? I think
Birmingham.
Yeah, they were expected to win, but I think after the first half they would have been disappointed.
Yeah.
But they kind of found their teeth in the second half, got like that clinical finishing in. Obviously, shout out to Ocean Ertre with that hat trick as well. To maybe crosses.
Were they crosses? Who knows? I said to Sophie after the second one, I was like, maybe she just only scores these type of goals.
I think the first one was definitely a cross. The second one, I think, actually was a shot that just was brilliant. But yeah, some really good performances.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the trip. Hopefully it's not been too scattergun and piecemeal. We've tried to use the same camera and the same mic the whole way through to make this nice and consistent for you. But we wanted you to feel like you were on this very long journey with us of the Adobe Women's FA Cup 5th round. And maybe we'll do something similar during the quarterfinals. We shall see. Let us know if you liked it. Thanks for tuning in.